Nearly every handheld power tool with a cord is now coming out in a cordless version, and that's beginning to happen with routers too. For the time being anyway, it's limited to these compact routers, and right now there are 4 of them. There's a new 12-volt compact from Bosch. Here's a fairly recent 18-volt compact model from Makita, and both Ridgid and Ryobi have 18-volt compacts as well. And if you're thinking about buying one of these cordless routers, here's a few things you might be wondering about. First off, power. How long will a cordless router operate on a battery charge, and will it be powerful enough to do what I need a compact router to do? These are both smart questions to ask of any cordless power tool. So the length of time the router is going to run on a battery charge is really influenced by a number of things, and the first one is the amp-hour rating of the battery, and that's this number right here. Now today's cordless tool batteries range anywhere from 1.5 up to as many as 12 amp hours. The more amp hours, the more runtime the battery offers. But runtime is going to be influenced by a number of other things too. How sharp the bit is that you're using, how heavy of a pass you're taking, the kind of material you're routing into, and the general health of the battery. So runtime is going to vary. And now for that second question. Are these cordless routers powerful enough? Well, I suppose that depends on what you want them to do. For me, compact routers are generally edge profiling tools, but I sometimes use them for template work and for cutting smaller dados, grooves, and rabbets. So, with new, freshly charged batteries, I tried out all 4 of these tools, cutting 3/8" radius roundovers and chamfers into hardwood, plowing a 1/2" wide groove into plywood, and cutting some rabbets. I felt that these were the more torque-demanding tasks for a compact router, whether it's corded or cordless. The 18-volt Makita, Ridgid, and Ryobi routers had plenty of power for these sorts of operations. And I really didn't notice any difference in power between these and a corded tool. And with moderate passes, they didn't bog down in the cut. The Bosch compact router is 12 volts rather than 18, so you might think it's less powerful than the other 3. But I was really surprised here. This little 2 amp hour battery helped the Bosch keep up just fine with these other 18-volt tools. It could cut roundovers, chamfers, rabbets, and grooves right along with the rest. Now you might be wondering, how do these cordless routers handle when compared to corded models? Well, to some degree, I think that's going to be influenced again by the battery you choose. For these 3 18-volt tools, Makita, Ridgid, and Ryobi offer batteries in various amp-hour ratings, and all of the battery options fit the routers. And the battery you choose can affect how the tool feels in hand. Generally, higher amp-hour batteries like this one are larger and heavier than lower amp-hour batteries like this one. And on these 18-volt tools, that can make them feel top-heavy. In my experience, corded compact routers never feel top-heavy. I didn't find top heaviness to be a big problem with the 18-volt machines, but you'll want to be extra careful to keep their bases pressed down firmly against the workpiece, especially if you're routing a narrow edge or something small. And as for features, these battery-powered compacts are about as well equipped as the corded versions. Side by side, Ridgid's cordless model looks very similar to the corded version. It has the same micro-bit depth adjustment, depth setting locks, spindle locks, and bases. It also has variable speed control, and it even has an LED light to brighten the work area. Same story here for Makita's battery-powered compact and its corded predecessor. There's a lot of similarities between the motors and the bases. But Makita offers several unique woodworking advantages that the other 3 don't. For one, its battery-powered motor fits right into the plunge base and several other accessory bases for Makita's corded compact. Bosch, Ridgid, and Ryobi don't have plunge bases for their cordless compacts. And Makita's fixed base is also sized to accept standard 1 3/16" diameter template guides, making this router nicely suited for all sorts of template routing applications right out of the box. There's no corded model to compare to Ryobi's cordless compact, but it does bear some similarities to this Ridgid router, including micro depth adjustment, spindle lock, and an LED light. But the Ryobi doesn't have variable speed. Now, Bosch stepped completely away from its popular Colt palm router, which has been a woodworking favorite for years, when designing this new cordless compact. It's got this unusual L-shaped body style that you grip like this. Now, this configuration puts the tool's center of gravity way in from the edge of the workpiece and the bit underneath your hand. Bosch gives the tool a long base with these finger gripping areas on it to help provide better control during use. For me, Bosch's compact took some getting used to, because when you're routing, you have to look behind and underneath to see where the bit is. You can't see it from overhead and in front, and that's where I'm used to looking to check my progress. And finally, you might be wondering about price. Is buying a cordless compact router a better value than buying a corded model? Well, if you already have the batteries and charger from another tool, like this drill, and you can buy your cordless compact bare, it's going to be priced about in line with a corded router. But if you have to buy the charger and the batteries in addition to the router, this is going to be the more expensive choice. So is a cordless compact worth having in the shop? Well, I was really impressed with their performance and features. I won't say that they're a great value over corded routers because batteries are expensive and sooner or later they'll have to be replaced. But with today's long-running and powerful batteries, these little routers are definitely up to the tasks of woodworking. I'm Chris Marshall with Woodworkers Journal magazine, and thanks for watching.